Yeah, come on. Welcome to Wednesday morning. Tony Kurre here on Tony Kurre Radio is checking in on Facebook Live as we do every single morning. Don't forget, tomorrow morning is going to be the Kurre and Claypo show. Josh actually stopped in on Monday, and we had. I just love talking to him, man. He's a psychologist, so I always feel like I'm in therapy, which is probably a good thing for me. But he's a great guy, and we always have some great things to talk about. So he'll join me tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Then at 9:30 tomorrow, we'll be on with our partners on Fox 6. We love them too. Janice, Dubs, Mickey, the entire crew. We're going to be on with Fox 6. We are a couple times every single week. And I think we're going to be talking about quiet firing. I think we're talking about Sam Rushing. Good morning to you. Quiet firing. You know what quiet firing is? Watch tomorrow morning at 9:30 on Fox 6 and you'll know, or listen right here on the Tony Kurre Radio. All of our shows, Mission Minded, Adaptive Paris, the Damon Johnson Show, When in Rome with Stuart Rome, Need to Know with Kip Keefer, Dark Side of the Pooch, Austin Hanks Blues Almighty, Live Wire Wednesday, which is going off later on tonight, 8 o'clock. They're all airing now 5 days a week, 5 days a week, should I say. Justin Brown, good morning to you, brother. So check them out. They start at 10 o'clock in the morning. I stopped and saw Tommy Williams yesterday. He wanted me to make sure I held this bad boy up. The big old debut party coming up here on Saturday, August 27th, down at WorkPlay. Get down there and check out a wonderful show. Is it Aeon's? Aeon's debut? I should know this. AONS. Aeon's debut EP. Freedom Warranty. Presenting. All right, anyway. Go to WorkPlay, man. Go to WorkPlay, workplay.com. Great place. I love those guys. They did a great job. A couple things I want to mention real quick today. Trina Nadler, good morning to you, Trina. Congratulations to Nick Saban for getting the extension yesterday. I absolutely love that. Listen, I was doing sports radio with Alan Jay on the opening drive when Nick Saban came on board and he got paid $4 million a year. And people were like, $4 million a year? Have we lost our damn brains? $4 million? This is crazy. No one deserves $4 million a year. Well, he just got an extension. It's going to pay him $11.9 million a year, 11.7 or 11.9, who cares? Close to $12 million a year because he's going to get bonuses based on his performance. The guy is winning a national championship at Alabama about every other year, which is stupid ridiculous. When you bring somebody in to your college football program at this level, if they win one national title, you're happy as a pig in shit. I mean, it's good stuff, right? You win two, it separates you because, it's easy to win the college basketball March Madness pool once. Sometimes you could fall into it. It just happens. I mean, you look at someone like Gene Chizik or Coker down at Miami back in the 80s. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not great coaches. I'm just saying that sometimes it just happens. To win two separates you. To win three, you're in rarefied air. You win seven, like Nick Saban, it's just stupid. He's the greatest college football coach of all time. Hell, I don't even hear people talk about Bear Bryant anymore. Buddy Little, I know. Hey, don't be talking about Bear Bryant like that. I'm not saying when I talk about Bear Bryant, but when I first started doing sports radio back in 1994, that's all we talked about was Bear Bryant. Bear Bryant birthday, Bear Bryant anniversary, Bear Bryant this, we had Bear Bryant hats, we had all, and still, legacy, one of the most unbelievable. But telling you, where is he buried? Where are we going? I mean, we used to have Bear Bryant parade. I mean, everything is Bear Bryant. There ain't a whole lot of Bear Bryant talking right now. And again, I'm not saying the guy wasn't incredible. He won 6 national titles, but Nick Saban, and there ain't no reason to think Nick Saban can't win like 3 more national titles. I think he's going to have from 10. He came out yesterday. He said, evidently, Buddy Little, good morning. Evidently, there's a lot of people saying that he's going to retire, and he's 70 years old, and this contract takes him through 2029. He's like, I don't know where it's coming from. He said, but I'm happy. He goes, I love coaching. I don't know what I'd do without coaching, and I can't wait to see what the next 7 years holds at the University of Alabama. Someone asked me yesterday what I think that Nick Saban's worth to the University of Alabama. And, if you're a $100 million company and you have a salesperson or a president or something that is mainly responsible for the success of that business, you could sit there and say they're worth $50 million. Well, he ain't going to get paid $50 million. But what are they worth to the company? Because there's other people working there and it takes other things. Robbie McAlpine, good morning. Benny Solomon, good morning to you, brother. Robbie, it's been a long time, man. I hope you're doing well. I would say that, and so they're like, what do you think would be a good business transaction for Nick Saban to earn money-wise? And I said $25 million. I think $25 million a year is right in line with what I think college football coaches we've had 8 playoffs. He's been in 7 of them. I mean, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's incredible. So 25, and I know what kind of money the University of Alabama brings in. I know what the football program brings in. So $25 million a year. Could they give him 50? If he said, if you don't give me 50, I'm leaving, they'd give him 50. But I mean, from a business standpoint, what's Nick Saban worth every year? I'd say about $25 million a year. And I think if he ends up coaching all the way till he's 77, 78 or whatever, he'll probably be making close to 20 a year. So there you have it. Dave Chappelle, happy birthday. He's 49 today. Vince McMahon turned 77 today. Listen, I went through my WWE phase. I get it. I've been playing, and there's something about being down at the BJCC or wherever you're seeing WWE, and it's full house, and you see fathers with their sons, and it's kind of cool. I went through a very short 6 or 7 month phase. I was hanging out with a bunch of guys that were really into it, so I gave it a shot. It was fun. It was exciting, and I get it. But Vince McMahon's a creep. I'm sorry, he's a creep. But he's a super rich creep, and he's a really creative and good business creep. But he's a creep. Now he's paying people off because of sleeping with some of his employees. Also today, and I wanted to give a big old howdy-ho and a salute because I checked last night, we had 3,873 Ukrainians listening to Tony Curre Radio. They got the TKR app over there in the Ukraine right now. There's no terrestrial radio. You can't listen to anything but the internet, man. It's amazing, and that's why I do what I do. The TKR app is heard all over the world. When we do Live Wire Wednesday tonight, the official AC/DC fan club in Sydney, Australia, we'll have 42,000 people in Sydney, Australia listening later on tonight at 8 o'clock Central. It's crazy. 80 to 85% of our listening audience is within 100 miles of the Birmingham area because we're right here in Hoover, but we serve the world. And so we had roughly just less than 4,000 Ukrainians listening last night. I'm getting pictures from Ukrainian soldiers, their families who are listening to Tony Curre Radio over there. They love classic rock, and a lot of them, they need energy. They need motivation. They need hope. And everything we do around here, we have great programming, great shows, but we keep things up tempo, and we rock, and we kick some ass. And while they're firing off American-made missiles over at the Russians, they can know that they're listening to some Led Zeppelin or some Molly Hatchet tune right here on Tony Curre Radio, so that's great. But today, 31 years ago today, the Ukrainians celebrated their first Independence Day, and I know that they're talking about some Russian attacks today, not only because it's the 31st anniversary of Ukrainians' Independence Day, but also because it's been 6 months to the day the war started back in February. So our thoughts and prayers go out to you. We love you. Keep fighting the good fight, you men and women in Ukraine. We're behind you. We have not forgotten about you. Keep doing your thing. So that's a wonderful thing. We appreciate that. Finally, wanted to mention a good friend of mine, Al Cooper up at Coosa Valley Auto. I don't normally do this, okay? Whenever we get a new client on, and we get several new clients on every single week, I'm working on a couple more. We have some really cool programming that we're going to be doing. We're going to do I don't want to talk about it because I don't want anyone else to do it yet. But anyway, I got some really cool programming aspects coming up. We got tens of thousands of listeners a week, so we're moving the needle, man. And so Coosa Valley Auto, Al Cooper called me up. He was watching me right here like Robbie is and Benny is. He was watching me one morning on Facebook, and Facebook's just a very small part of what we do here because the TKR app is huge. Our podcast series, our podcast platform is a monster. We're on every major podcast industry out there, and every show we do, even the ones with music, are podcasted. Spotify reached out to us. They called us and said, listen, we love some of your shows. Do you realize you can have musically elevated shows, and we'll pay your licensing for them to run on Spotify? So When in Rome is on there, the Blues Almighty show's on there, the Damon Johnson show's on there, LPOD is going to be on there, Wide Awake Wake's going to be on there, and then if you want to listen to any of our pure verbiage podcast, we're on every major industry, and those things are just flying. So we play the shows live here first, and then if you miss a show, you can go listen to them on our podcast and come back. It's great. Joseph Mark Burnett. Good morning, Joseph. I remember Mark. Al Cooper is up at Coosa Valley Auto in Sylacauga, and he sees me. He's like, man, let's do some business. And, People reach out all the time. Hey, let's do some business. And you have a meeting with them, and they're like, oh, that's great. And then you never hear back from them again. And so I said, I tell you what, I'll drive my ass up to Sylacauga. It's about an hour away. And I said, and it's just part of business. I may get to sell, I may not. I'm super passionate about what I do. And if you've ever heard me talk about Tony Curre Radio, and not just Tony Curre Radio, but internet radio as we know it, because we're on a cutting edge. In about 2 or 3 years, man, it's going to be all you get. You ain't going to have radio dials in your car. You're not. It's going to be awesome. And I said, I'm going to come up here and listen to your spiel. Well, this guy, man, he talked for like an hour. An hour. I mean, I was trying to talk. We were like two of them birds, like in the Galapagos Islands, and we're like, and we started doing a little dance. Woo. And I'm like, and I finally just backed off. I said, okay, dude, just do your thing. Give me your spiel. Well, it was your spiel, all right. I've been in the car dealerships for a long period of time. I've seen it. I've seen good ones. I've seen bad ones. And this guy's doing something really cool up there where he's doing a customer co-op. He talks about his Easter eggs. Every morning he gets to work about, 6, 7 o'clock, and he's got 8 or 9 new cars on the lot, used cars. We all know that right now the used car business is huge, not only because people can't afford the new ones, the electric ones are too expensive, and then when you're talking about the depreciation of a vehicle as soon as you drive it off the lot, let that depreciation go. They've got vehicles with 15,000 miles on them. They got vehicles with 115,000 miles on them, depending on what you're looking for in your price range. He sits down with me and he pulls up his computer and he tells me exactly what he's paying for these vehicles. Tom Williams, good morning to you, brother. He tells me exactly how much he's paying for these vehicles, and then he's telling me what he would normally put it or list it on the lot for. And it was incredibly transparent. He's in business. He's got to make money. You don't go talk to the manager. There's not another person he's got to see. He's the boss. He's the boss. So you're sitting down with the boss man. You don't have to go through all that crap. And, of course, the crew there, Brad, David, Shane, Dakota, Jeremiah, and Al themselves. And I appreciate that. And I was like, and I'm not a very gullible guy. I'm 56, and I've gotten a little smart over my years. I'm starting to get there. I still got some learning to do, but I'm getting there. And because I've heard these spiels, and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And I said, so everyone gets the toe and the bone price. He goes, everyone gets the toe and the bone price. And because of that, if you go to CoosavalleyAutoSale.com, there are pictures of a lot of vehicles and videos, but there are some pictures where it's just a red car. It's not a picture at all. It's because that car is already gone. The cars are on the lot for 2 or 3 days, and then they're gone. So check them out. And I know I talk a lot about them, but I think their business model is super cool. I hope to have them on the radio for years, and they're going to love it. 256-267-0296, 256-267-0296. He gets to work around 9:30, 10 o'clock, but you can call him whenever you want. CoosavalleyAutoSale.com, CoosavalleyAutoSale.com. Since Tommy, I know, is listening, there is your poster again. Check out the big show coming up on Saturday, August 27th. We got some other surprises going on down there at WorkPlay. Go to WorkPlay.com, WorkPlay.com, and check out their wonderful website and everything they're up to. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love you. Stay dry. College football season coming up this weekend. NFL's right around the corner. By the way, week 0 is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. We got 10 college football games going on this weekend, and it's week 0 because no one else is playing. If we're playing college football, it's stinking week 1. What? I mean, week 0? What are we doing? It's like being born. You know, in China, when you're born, you're already 1. You're 1 right when you pop out of the womb. You're 1 years old, right? Which is how we do it with college football. But we're week 0. So if you're playing week 0, good luck to you. College football, we'll talk a lot about right here on Tony Curre Radio. I love you. Have a great day.